Hey, Xander here with another video. Welcome back to the channel. We have a very peculiar rumor to address, and if it's true, it's actually very welcoming news. The Twitter user by the name of DealsDrone allegedly has leaked that there will be indeed a follow-up to the DJI Action 2 action camera. The user goes on to say that expect this camera to drop mid-September, and it appears that the camera will be dubbed the DJI Osmo Action 3. And what's more, the design will be that of the original Osmo Action that DJI came out with back in 2019. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am just your average Joe who loves the great outdoors, action, adventure, sports, and photography and videography. If you're into that stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's get right into it. If this rumor is true, this arrival will closely match that of the GoPro Hero 11 Black, which is slated to release mid-September this year. I personally absolutely loved the DJI Osmo Action camera. That camera was superb. I loved it. Super rugged, very reliable, quality image. Stabilization was phenomenal on that thing. And what's more, the Osmo Action was revolutionary for its time. It actually introduced a front-facing screen that a lot of the GoPros and other action cameras now sport today. The DJI Osmo was the first one to introduce that kind of feature on their vlogging cameras. Granted, you had to toggle mode buttons on the side of the camera to switch to the front-facing camera, and it was very difficult to do that while you were recording. But nonetheless, it was a great feature to have. I had owned a DJI Osmo Action camera and used it for vlogging and capturing some of my adventures, and unfortunately, I actually destroyed that camera, so to speak. My dumbass totally forgot to fasten one of the locks on the bottom for the battery. From what I remember, you actually had to plug that battery in and actually securely fasten it because it had like a safety mechanism to it to make sure it's locked in and it doesn't get anything into the battery. My dumbass blew it. I did not check my gear before going into the water, and I was actually filming with the Osmo Action when I was visiting Orlando and doing a video at Discovery Cove up in Orlando. And actually, I was pretty impressed that the camera lasted as long as it did in salt water while I was snorkeling with it.
The water's cold.
Oh, there you go, snorkel time in the reef. I'll play some of that footage here in this video, and I adored using that Osmo Action. I actually blew it with that battery. DJI was kind enough to get me a replacement for that Osmo Action that I blew in the water, and not even a month later, I got involved in a kayaking accident here in Miami, and I actually have a scar to show for it now. And I lost the Osmo Action in the, I guess with me, Osmo Action and saltwater just do not mix well. So I don't know what to tell you. I haven't gotten a replacement since then. I've been thinking about it, but now with this news, I think I might get back into DJI. We'll have to see. I was super excited that DJI was coming out with a sequel to the Osmo Action, the DJI Action 2. And I found it very interesting that they went the whole modular magnetic compact design. It was very interesting. I thought it was very cool to have like a magnetic lanyard or even magnetic head strap, especially on like metal surfaces to get unique angles with your camera. But the battery life on that thing, on the Cube alone, was disappointing. And the fact that you couldn't even put a micro SD card in the actual camera itself, the Cube, it only had, I think, barely 30 gigs of memory. Don't quote me on that. I was incredibly disappointed with the Action 2, and for the price point too, I thought it was laughable. So, as I was filming this video, we actually got breaking news from DealsDrone again, tweeted out what looks like to be a photo of the actual DJI Action 3 camera, and I'll put the photo up for you guys to look at, and it looks like for sure it's confirmed we're going back to the original DJI Osmo Action design. But from the looks of this photo, we got a larger lens, maybe possibly a bigger sensor, which would be great for image quality, low light filming capabilities, and just dynamic range in general. And it looks like we're getting a larger front-facing screen, so I'm super hyped. If this picture is true, which DealsDrone has not let us down. He has not led us astray. Let us be thankful for him or her. This is pretty awesome news. It's very welcoming sight. I absolutely adored the Osmo Action 1, and I would definitely be interested in seeing what this action camera has to offer. If it offers a larger sensor, magnificent resolution and higher frame rates, and a larger battery, now we're talking. Now, and the great thing about the Osmo Action back in the day too, when it first released, it was affordable. It was a pretty nice price point considering that GoPro was always $350+. So I don't know, this is pretty exciting news, guys. If it's true that it is coming out this month, mid-September, something to pay attention to. I might get back into DJI if that's the case. So there you have it, guys. It looks like DJI is indeed coming out with a third action camera. Looks like we're going back to our roots here with the DJI Osmo Action Camera design as well. So that's very exciting. I'm excited to see what the specs are going to be and what the capabilities are. I'm sure it's going to have superior stabilization. That's something DJI has always taking pride in. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think? What is something that you hope is in the DJI Osmo Action 3? Is there a specific capability that you liked in the Action 2 that you hope they bring in the Action 3? I think it's pretty exciting stuff, and I can't wait to see what DJI unveils this month. Hopefully. That's gonna wrap up this video, guys. I'm Xander, and I'll catch you all on the wild side.